Marshall in the middle.
Hey, everybody. I've been hearing a phrase a lot lately. Sean Ryan put it out. He said, everything was a lie. You know, some folks hear that and think that it means like nothing is real or everything's a conspiracy. That's not what he's saying. What he's saying, and what a lot of us quietly felt for years now, is that the official stories we were given didn't match the reality, that we lived. Look, I wore the uniform and I followed the orders. I believed the mission. You know, we can serve honorably and still be lied to. And I think we were. When Sean Ryan says everything was a lie, he's talking about the narratives, not the men and women like us that served, not the sacrifices, not the courage. That's not what he's talking about. Why we were told we went to war, it was a lie. What intelligence was shown and what was buried, the yellow cake bull crap, how the public version never matched what happened on the ground. And here's what hits home for a lot of us. The lies weren't just for civilians. They were inside the system, compartmentalized. We were all like sanitized from whatever the truth was. We never saw the whole picture. And when things failed, nobody was really accountable. Then we watched COVID happen, and the same kind of pattern. There was no dissent allowed. You had to follow orders. Questions were labeled as dangerous. And later they changed it, revisions and walked back. So the science changed, No, they changed the story. And that's when a lot of people finally connected the dots and said, wait a minute, this feels familiar. Sean Ryan isn't saying there's no truth. He's saying the truth doesn't usually come from the press briefings, the talking points, and the cable news network. Truth comes from doing like what Rogan's been doing, long conversations, from lived experiences like you and I did, from letting people talk even when it's uncomfortable. The biggest casualty of the 25 years hasn't been blood and treasure. It's been like me and you trusting each other even, and much less the systems. We all know the government's lying to us. If we're going to rebuild anything as Americans and as veterans, as communities, it starts by admitting the secret fact. It's the one that we weren't able to actually talk about. It's actually simple, though. You can love your country and still question the people that run it. You can say, hey, what's going on? That's not disloyal. It's not something that we can't talk about. It doesn't have to be secret. It's adulthood. Look, I didn't lose my faith in America. I just stopped outsourcing my thinking to somebody else. I have a buddy that works in the Pentagon that knows a lot of the truth, but he can't tell me, and they won't let him. So anyway, that's a little bit about, what I think, this little Marshall in the middle, monologue for you. Here you go.
Marshall in the middle.